draining. I will let that, oh, it always overshoots your drain pan. When you think you've gone far enough with your drain pan, go like an inch more. Hey everybody in the land of YouTube. It is early 30. I am doing some work today. I'm going to finish up the work I'm doing on the Mustang that I just did the oil change and brakes on in the last video. What I'm going to do today, like I said last time when I did the Mustang, this is a 2010 Jeep Wrangler, belongs to a friend of mine. I will go ahead and say I did the brakes on this before and it was the worst brake pad I've ever seen. I have it here somewhere and I will show it to you just to shame charity a little bit. But I'm going to do the oil change on this. This is super simple. I'm literally going to, don't even need a jack. You can slide under this if you're not a huge fellow. You can slide right under there and we'll slide the drain pan under, pull the drain plug, let this actually drain for a while I finish up what I'm doing here. All I gotta do is basically stick the wheel on, and then I will show you how to do it, what tools you need. This does take 6 quarts of oil. It is 5W20. Charity and Becky always use Quaker State full synthetic, so there's 6 quarts and a filter. It's 3614, so it'll be ST3614 or PH3614 or ST whatever, extra guard if you use the extra guard. I always use the tough guard filter whenever I used Frams. I always used it on my Jetta, my Z, the truck when I did it. It seemed like it was just a little bit better filter and it was like 50 cents more. So I mean, it's worth it if you're gonna go extra mileage, or if you drive the car hard, I would buy the extra filter. But just for highway, I would just always just use the Super Tech. Like on the Q and stuff, I always just use the Super Tech. But since this is 6 quarts, what you can do is if you buy the 5 quart jug, you can use a quart of Marvel mystery oil, a quart of Lucas oil treatment. They also make, like, Howells makes one, and then also Walmart makes one, the SuperTech brand motor treatment or oil treatment, whatever it's called. So that'd be a good way to get that in. That way you actually use the whole jug. And then that this got like 120,000 miles on it, so it'd be a good candidate for the Marvel mystery oil long-term motor flush like I did in that video. And it's be an easy way to do it because you've got 6 quarts. But enough talking, let's get started. Okay, so we're under the Jeep. Like I said, if you're not a very big person, you can get under here. It looks like she's got a little bit of an oil leak right there. Maybe rear main seal, maybe the oil pan gasket itself. Something I'll have to inspect. But here's your oil drain pan. Here's your oil drain plug. It is a 13mm socket or wrench. I have the drain pan underneath it. So we'll put this guy here. And what we're going to do next, we'll set you guys right there. Get my ratchet. It's always underneath you. Okay. And all I'm going to do is break it loose and take it loose with my hand. If I can get it loose. Okay, loose. What I do is I try, okay, 13mm, it was loose. I don't know who did the last drain plug, oil change, whatever. Okay. Ready. I always say wear a glove when you do this, and then I'll forget to wear a glove. Okay, out, draining. I will let that, oh, it always overshoots your drain pan. When you think you've gone far enough with your drain pan, go like an inch more. Let this drain for a while. Oil doesn't look too bad, doesn't look as bad as the Mustang did. So I'm gonna let this drain for a while, and then I will come back once I get the drain plug back in. Oil filter's right there. I don't know if I have the cup for it or if I'm just going to use a pair of channel locks. I recommend the little cup if you have one. Like if this is your vehicle and you're going to do it all the time, buy the little cup. You can buy them in Advance, AutoZone. Walmart carries them, and it's simple. All you do is just get the filter you need and then just test fit them until you get the one you need, and then you just put it on the socket. Like I said, I have one for all my vehicles, but this is not my vehicle, so I didn't buy the cup for it. So I'll test fit, see if I got the cup, and if I don't, I'll just use a pair of channel locks. So let this drain for a minute and then we'll come back. Found my tripod, so it's be easier now. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of oil. This is easy because I have the extra quart here because this takes 6 quarts. If you saw in the Mustang video, I use Marvel Mystery Oil. What I do, Just put a little bit inside, a little bit around there, then take just a little bit on the seal. I normally let that sit for a minute. Now, some people will go ahead and preload that with like half a quart of oil. I don't really see the point. Like, I see the idea behind it, but I don't see the point. Like, you're kind of wasting your time. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the oil filter, get the drain plug back in. We'll get the oil filter off, and then we'll put oil in this thing, and we'll be done. Oh, trucks, Jeeps, vans, anything where you don't have to jack it up to get under it is always good in my opinion. All right, drain plug back in, got it hand tied. I'll snug it back down before we get done. Pull this drain pan back to where you all are sitting. So I'll move you all over here. Now, one thing to remember, this is 6 quarts. So if you buy a 5-quart drain pan, you're gonna be overflowed. So filter's right there. Like I said, if you've got the cup, use the cup. I don't have the cup. This is not my everyday vehicle, so we'll just use, like we did on the Mustang, our channel locks. Actually, I think it'd be easier. And that was barely hand tight. That was, you can see it's draining, but I literally took the channel locks, and as soon as I put it to them, it did it. So it was barely hand tight. So what I'm gonna do, take that loose, let it drain for a sec all over the sway bar. Like I remember what I said about being an inch off and getting it all over the driveway. Take this oil filter, put it in my recycling. Let that drain for a sec, put the other one back on. I'll snug down the drain pan. Okay. Now the reason I don't like, on the Mustang it's easy because the filter goes in like this. On this one it goes in like that. So as you can see, as I put the oil, if you fill this thing full of oil and you tilt it on its side, what's gonna happen? So we'll go ahead, put the oil filter back on. Give it a little spin. What I'll do is I'll go grab a rag, wipe it off. Plus it will help me get it tighter. Get it tight. Get it right. Grab some paper towels. All right. So now what we'll do, pop that off, tighten it down. Okay, we are good and tight. Okay. If you want to, you can take your channel locks, put a little bit more of a turn on it, but then you take a risk on denting it. Plus, you don't want to fuck with your belt. Mess with your belt. Okay. So now what we will do, I'm going to make sure the bottom drain plug is tight, and then put oil in this thing. Little trick I mentioned in my Mustang video, when you take your oil cap off, okay? I've seen people fill the oil up, forget. Put your oil cap right here where the latch goes. That way you can't close the hood with the oil cap, because then you'll go to close it and go, why isn't it closing? Oh, I forgot to put the oil cap back. Boom. Little reminder. So something else I'm gonna check is this thing has a tiny hole. So I'm gonna have to get, that funnel will work. Okay. Funnel. Not ready to put the oil in yet, but I'm just test fitting everything. Because like I said, I've only ever done one oil change in this. I forgot. I took my 13mm box end, tightened the drain plug down. Take 6 quarts, so we will take, first thing we will do, start with the easy one because I've already got it open. Get rid of the solo quart. put in here. Just leave it while that's draining. Hopefully that doesn't come loose, because I will go ahead and get the big guy open. Also, what's weird about Quaker State, Quaker State doesn't have a seal on the bottles. It's a little weird to me. Okay. Let that drain for a sec. Okay. Now to add the 5 quarts. I like these wide mouth funnels because less splash, less chance of spilling. Okay. Always keep an eye here, because I have seen this, like if it's really shallow in the valve cover, I've seen it back up into here and either overflow or it'll start coming out right there where the funnel goes into the thing. Also make sure you don't rest your bottle on that, because then you could knock it loose and you'll make a mess. Just pay attention. Also, I like the bigger ones because more oil goes in. I have a bigger funnel. I left it at Steve's for some reason. Check that video out. It's probably the biggest funnel I've ever seen. It's for like commercial vehicles, but it makes stuff like this super handy. It's a little overkill, but I love that funnel. Okay, that's all that. Make sure, one thing I normally forget to do, put your lid back on here when you throw the stuff away. Like I literally just forgot to pick that one up. Okay, so now gather up your tools that are left. Take your funnel out. I'll set it in the grass so it can drain. Take your cap. Make sure you take your cap. Put it back on. Good and snug. Okay. Now then, get everything out from under here. I'm gonna set you all right there. That way, in case there's an explosion, I can catch it on tape. No leaks. Good. Let this run from there, let the oil get circulated. No leaks. No leaks from the filter. We're good. That's literally, if I had done this nonstop, this would have been like 15-minute job, start to finish. But I worked on the Mustang a little bit. So we will go from there, and that's all there is. I'm gonna take it back to Charity. I'm gonna come back and finish the work on this Mustang. Bleh. And then, while I'm also gone, I have to get a bracket. One thing to do, guys, I bought this thing on Walmart.com. It was like $9 or $10. It's called a dispose oil. It holds 12 quarts of oil. So you could do 2 of these oil changes, or like one of those oil change and an oil change to the Mustang, what I'm doing. 6 plus 5 is 11. That's 2 oil changes, and you just take it, dump it. And then the other good thing is, if it's a car that takes like 4 quarts of oil, you've got a quart left, you don't have to worry. I know a lot of people say, well, just put your old oil in the jug of the new oil and take it back. What if your car only takes 4 quarts and you're gonna waste a quart? So that little thing, that little disposal, easy, I highly recommend them. So that's all there is. I'm gonna start every time I try and do something specific on a car like this, try and do more like this. So if there's anything out there you wanna see, let me know, and I'll see if I can find the car, and we'll go from there. Thanks everybody. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us a lot. When you think you've gone far enough with your drain pan, go like an inch more.